Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways you can use AI or artificial intelligence in the music industry. We're going to talk about music making or marketing, a whole bunch of different things, all encompassing in the music industry, but here are 5 ways you can use AI in this industry. AI is a very divisive topic. Some people think it's crazy, some people think it's taken over the world, some people love it and embrace it. I kind of sit somewhere in the middle, leaning more towards embracing. I think it's kind of similar to the Uber drivers and the taxi drivers back in New York City 10, 15 years ago when they said, no, this will never take over, we're never going to give in, and now like nobody rides a taxi anywhere. Everybody takes an Uber, and if you don't embrace new technology, you get left behind. And there's nothing wrong with embracing what you currently have, but just you have to acknowledge the fact that you're going to get left behind. It's also, I kind of compare it to like the farming revolution, the agricultural revolution back you learned about in history, where when they modernized agriculture and instead of it taking 100 farm hands to do one task in a day, they were able to do it with a tractor in about an hour. You know, you can embrace the new technology, you can decide to stay in your ways and just acknowledge the fact that if you stay in your ways, you're going to get left behind because the person that's able to do it in 1 hour is able to get way more done and make way more money. Not that money's everything, but like that just comes with the trade, right? So let's talk about 5 tips or 5 ways you can use it. First way, the way that I've been using it the longest, that I think has been around the longest, is through mastering. So AI mastering has been around I've been using it since at least 2016, so almost 10 years. Maybe it's even been, that's how long I've been using it. So 9 years that I've been using it, but it's probably been around maybe a year or two earlier than that. There are a ton of different platforms out there. I've used Lander. I've also used Distrokid. Distrokid, by the way, if you're interested in using theirs, the way it works, actually, let me go into it, how it works. The way it works is you upload your track, and you upload the WAV file. So you want to export when you have your final mix. You export the WAV. You upload the WAV, and then from there, it listens to the track, and then it decides how it wants to adjust it to make it louder or quieter, adjusting the dynamics a bit with compression, a little bit brighter here, a little warmer here, and you get to control the parameters. So it gives you a final version. And then from there, you can adjust the parameters. So there's a whole bunch of different companies out there. Like I said, I've used Lander. I've used Distrokid. If you want to use Distrokid, there's a link down below. One of the benefits of using Distrokid is that you can. They're also a music distribution platform, so you can master your music through them. But they're also a music distribution platform, and that's actually how I release my music. So if you want to release your music, get as much music as you want out there for one flat fee. There's a link down below. You save 7% on your first year, but it's one flat fee. You can upload 1,000 songs if you wanted to. They also are always at the forefront in the industry with new trends and opportunities. For example, like getting music videos out there, or when TikTok and Instagram Reels were a thing for the first thing, like they were the first ones to get your music up there. So, but let's go back to that. So if you there's a link down below. But for mastering, that's AI, and to be honest with you, I compared it back 9 years ago, which is crazy because how much better has it gotten? It's 9 years ago. I was hiring a company to master my music, and we would go back and forth with masters, and I said, you know what, let me pay for this master from this company, but then let me also try this AI. And to be honest, the AI was just as good, if not better, than the other company, and the benefit was I could test it before I chose the final version, and I didn't have to go back and forth with emails and wait 24 or 48 hours for the guy to get back to me for me to say, I don't like this version, let's go back to the other version, or let's switch this, or I changed something in the track, now I need to get it remastered. That's one of the major benefits, is the accessibility and the availability of the AI is super huge, because again, if you're going back and forth with emails, it just takes forever. And then you don't want to be that guy that's annoying where like you're like, 15 different edits in. Nobody likes that guy. But if you're talking to a computer, the computer doesn't care if you're doing it, right? So that's the first way. Second way is in marketing. And this is an interesting way because I think that ChatGPT is a really great opportunity, or something like ChatGPT. I personally use ChatGPT. In fact, I actually just about a month ago signed up for the Pro version, which is I think the middle tier. I think there's a third tier. Oh, I know that there's a third tier. I paid for the $20 version a month. There's a $200 version. I think that's called like Enterprise or something like that. I have not paid for that. But I kept hitting the limit, the daily limit on the free version. So I upgraded, and it's such a powerful powerful tool. And again, I think that it's an opportunity that if you're not capitalizing it, you can very easily get left behind. There's a couple ways you can use this. You can use it for idea generation. How can I market? Ask it, say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is the kind of music that I make. What marketing ideas do you have? Boom, you have all these new ideas. For writing, not necessarily songwriting. I mean, I guess you could help it with that songwriting. I don't know how I feel totally about that, but I meant more for like writing emails or writing out to potential sponsors or potential fans, even like a thank you note to fans. Now, I mean, that might seem a little impersonal, but like if you're not the best writer, which I am not the best writer, and I've always dreaded writing, especially like more formal things. So for example, like one thing I could use this for is I don't have the texting platform anymore, but back when I had my texting platform where like I would send text to subscribers and supporters, I could say, hey, write me this message pitching my new t-shirt to supporters in a way that's fun, but also relatable, but also like really drives home the fact that I want to try to sell this product. And boom, it'll write this little blurb. And you can adjust it to make it your own words. But how much time does that save you? And like, I would probably have like procrastinated that for 2 weeks because I hate writing stuff like that. And it just helps me to write things like that. You could also have it help you write things for your captions for social media. That's huge. I hate doing that. Helps me a lot with that. And last thing you could use with marketing is finding people to reach out to, in the sense of like if you want to look for people that have playlists and you want to try to get on their playlists, I'd be like, hey, find me 7 pop punk playlists out there, and what are they called? Curators. And so then you can it'll find it for you, and then you can reach out to them and say, find me their email and their Instagram. It's crazy what they do. The next one I want to talk about is video editing. Now, this isn't necessarily the music industry, right? But like as a musician, what do we all have to do at this point? We all have to be on social media. We all have to make our own videos. Unless you have an editor, you're making and editing your own videos. I think this is a great platform because there's a great way to utilize AI. And if you have a podcast, it can edit the podcast for you, cutting up different clips, making clips. I haven't used that, but I've seen that it's an opportunity. It can even reorient your horizontal video. So for example, a video like this that's 16 by 9, it can reorient and chop into this 9 by 16, so I can cut up clips for me for social media. There's a lot of AI tools within video editing that I think can save time. Even if you're making your own album covers and stuff, and you want to get rid of like a traffic cone that's in the photo, AI can get rid of that. It's incredible, the opportunities inside of that editing platform, and all that kind of goes back to releasing your music and getting more content out there so you can promote your music even better. The next way, and I apologize if you hear my dog walking around the room with his paws on the hard floor down here, is music plugins. This is one that I struggled with a little because now it's introducing AI into the music industry, which is funny because what the next one that I'm about to say is even more so, which I've used, but we'll get into that in a sec. But let's talk about like AI plugins. For example, like Waves has this AI compressor. It's the IDX Intelligent Dynamics compressor, and I've used it before, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But when I used it, I was like, oh, this actually sounds way better than what I had already on my track, and I kind of wish I used this on the track, because I was using it on a track that I had already released to like test and compare. I was like, this sounds phenomenal. Like, I wish I used this. And I didn't, obviously, because I didn't know about it and wasn't released at the time, but it is impressive, and I think that it's just another tool in the tool belt. Maybe it's not, you don't use it as a crutch, but use it as an opportunity to kind of grow farther. Last one, and the reason I laugh at this last one is actually in making music. And this, again, can be a little controversial, but like, if you don't have the opportunity to have a real drummer, or you don't want to use samples for your drums, there's AI drums out there, and that's what I did for like many songs that I've released. And yes, now that I have access to drummers, it definitely sounds a bit more real, a bit more lively, a bit more what's the word? It sounds better with the live drums. But there was a period of time where I didn't have access to live drums. So what was I going to do? You know, I didn't. The AI drums sounded better than plugins, right? And in fact, I've actually tricked in the sense of professional mixers that thought that the drums that I was using, the drummer, like, just, it was a bad mix on the drummer, but it was actually AI drums. It wasn't even real drums. So you can get away with it, and it's, again, like, you gotta, like, weigh the options. Like, yeah, okay, you're using AI for your drums, but, like, otherwise I would have no drummer. So what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, I wanted the drums in the song, so I used AI. And there were definitely times where like, looking back, I'm like, this song could have been better. But there are times I'm like, this, yeah, I would have preferred regular drums, real drums, but this is fine. So those are my 5 tips. There's plenty more out there. I'd love to know how you're using AI in this music industry. Let me know in the comments below. But to recap, we have mastering. And if you want to check out Distrokid, where they have something called Mixia, and that's the mastering platform that they use. There's marketing, there's video editing, there's music plugins, and there's making music. So let me know in the comments below which ones you use or how you use it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have a great day. God bless. I'll see you in the next video.